What enabled smartphones to dominate as a technology, to be so prolific and critical to our lives that I would rather lose my car keys or wallet than my smartphone? The answer to this question isn't a simple one-liner, but rather it's a combination of answers. App development, wireless internet, carrier networks, Steve Jobs' brilliant marketing, though I would argue the most important contributor was the seamless combination of different functions and technologies into a single package. In this episode, we're going to explore the most distinctive feature of the smartphone's merging of technologies, the touchscreen display. There are three technologies in the touchscreen display. These technologies are combined all on top of each other. When you felt and used a smartphone for the first time, you just knew that you were holding something revolutionary, something different from all previous phones. These were not new technologies. Many devices used a tactile interface, and color displays had already been the standard for most phones. Even toughened glass had been discovered in the 1800s. But the innovative element was combining them seamlessly, one layer on top of another like magic. Okay, so let's get into the layers of a touchscreen display. On the top, we have the protective glass. A lot of us have had a screen shatter, but think about how many times you've dropped it and it hasn't. That's because a smartphone's glass is over 5 times stronger than normal glass. And before the first iPhone showed up in 2007, the standard for cell phone screens was plastic, and although plastic doesn't shatter, it is very easily scratched. If the screen were covered in plastic, it wouldn't last a week sitting in your pocket next to your keys before having dozens of scratches all over it. So what makes toughened glass so much stronger? A smartphone's glass is an aluminosilicate glass that is toughened by soaking it in a bath of potassium nitrate. This causes the sodium atoms in the glass to migrate out, and much larger potassium atoms to take their place. Because the potassium atoms are much larger, they generate a substantial compressive force on the surface of the glass. Here's a quick analogy. Imagine filling the backseat of a car with 3 average-sized people. They fit snugly, but if you push them, they're still able to move. Now replace those 3 people with 3 football linebackers. Those linebackers are just flat out stuck, unable to move. It would take much more force to move those linebackers from their seats. This is the fundamental concept behind what makes toughened glass special. The atoms are compressed, so it would take much more force for the glass to break. Below the toughened glass is a projected capacitive touchscreen that senses the presence and location of conductive materials such as your fingertip. This touchscreen is composed of 2 transparent diamond grid patterns printed on polyester with an optically clear insulator in the middle. The diamond grid pattern is printed with a transparent material called indium tin oxide, or ITO, which acts as a conductor. Let's take a closer look on how it works. Say we build a bunch of electrons on this blue diamond. However, because there is an insulator in the way, the electrons cannot move. The electrons generate a negative electric field, which causes a bunch of positive charges to build up on the yellow diamond. This is called a capacitor. Now, when we move a conductive material such as the tip of your finger close to this capacitor, it disrupts the electric field, which changes the amount of positive charges that build up on the yellow diamond. The change in positive charges on the yellow diamond is measured, and the processor registers this as a touch. The location of the touch is detected by scanning the charges or voltage along the blue diamonds while actively measuring each yellow diamond column. Note that each row of blue diamonds is connected together, also each column of yellow diamonds is connected. This setup makes a grid of blue columns and yellow rows. Just to clarify again, all of these components are made with transparent materials. Measuring each point requires too much circuitry, so we only measure each column. The charge or voltage gets sent to each row in quick succession, so the processor can register multiple touches at once.